Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Rhinestone Island. It's a gorgeous morning here on our new little beach area just in front of the future casino location, the little nightclub area, and of course our different resorts over here, and our new neighborhoods down this way with our little tram station. As you can see, we really didn't actually finish this area quite yet. I'm going to do lots of foliage and everything, but I got a lot of the props down, which I like quite a bit already. I kind of enjoy this little walkway between the observatory over here and the public tennis courts down this way. We've got some little places to eat food and some little picnic tables, a little market area down here, a little changing room, all that stuff you'd kind of expect to see right in front of a beach. I tried to make this little roadway over here, which is kind of also acting as service to this building here, which is supposed to be, I guess, like a little bathhouse area for our beach down here. And then the road kind of continues down this way, and while it has cars driving on it, I would kind of imagine this to actually be more of like a pedestrian path that you would see, kind of like right overlooking a beach. So we're going to have all the beach assets and all the fun stuff going on the beach. We're going to have some nice foliage and things, all this decoration. We're going to really tie this whole area together. Right now it's very much so like a nice rough draft of just like what this beachfront area is going to look like. But what I did kind of polish off, or at least mostly finish anyway, is this area over here. We've got the different clubs and things, our Club Alpha, our Club Kelvin. We've got the Prism Hotel, and I guess this is like a Silverwind Casino or something. It's a pretty cool place though. And this whole area, I'm just really digging the way it looks. I like all these little planters and things, all these little parking spaces, and you know, the little front area over here, although they do seem to park directly into our planter. But you know, also the way that they park in front of this makes it look like they're all just like terrible parkers for some reason. But that's because these are all like fake assets and aren't actually parking spots. So that's why that happens. But anyway, I also just, you know, very roughly laid out the last bits of this area over here, and we're going to definitely be taking a look again at this big soon-to-be final tram station that's going to be kind of servicing this beach area. We're also going to have a trailhead right over here, so it's going to be a multi-purpose dead end for the trams where you can get off, go to the trailhead, or get off and go over to our beach over here. So anyway, just a little overview for you guys. I wanted to get a good amount of that done, but the big thing that I want to do today is actually work on the casinos over here, get the strip going, and really start laying out some of those buildings. So next episode we can finish and polish off all the detailing over here. I need to also touch up this area and get the little centerpiece for this done, as well as maybe some trees around here in these neighborhoods, and then we can get into the detailing in the casino strip. But I wanted to get on with it. I wanted to get the casinos done today, so that's the plan. Oh yeah, one more thing that I also did is I went in, not in this resort quite yet, but in the other resort down this way, and I just added in some little facilities kind of between the buildings here. So this area was just like blank prior to this, so I plopped down a nice pool between these two. We've got a little statue, a little, I guess, little shop thing, and a restroom, public restroom. We've got some seating and stuff all through here. Got some little hidden hot tubs and stuff around this way, and of course some more places to go and eat and sit down and whatever, as well as this nice soccer field over here. So just kind of like some nice public amenities that are, you know, for this big resort over here, since this one is kind of like this area is all kind of for this for the most part. I would assume that we'd also be using this over here with this one, but I gotta say, I love the way that these trams turned out. I actually got kind of like a mixed response for this one. Quite a few of you guys did kind of understand where I got this whole idea from, which is the trams, or they're more like monorails in Las Vegas that actually kind of interweave between all the different resorts, and I feel like that's kind of what we were going for here. We don't really have any sort of monorail equivalent, but I think that raised trams are kind of like a similar thing. And the idea is just to get people from the main station, or, you know, whatever. I think in Las Vegas it's the airport, but same kind of thing. take them down over here and take them across to all the different resorts, as well as we have a nice stop that's relatively close to, the fun places to go downtown. And then, of course, this tram area should also service the casino area, so that's kind of the idea there. And if you'll notice in the trams in Las Vegas, they've got a similar thing. They've got these like big raised, elevated pathways that kind of wind between the different areas, and I think it really looks cool. I think it's like a unique and fun thing that's kind of, I don't know, adds some personality to the area. So that's why I did that, and I know it looks a bit funky for really anything else. Like if it was just like a regular city, it would look kind of weird, but I think in this particular instance, it worked out pretty well, so I'm going to keep it. But yeah, definitely got a lot of like mixed comments on that one. That's the one thing that I think was a little controversial, but I like it. I think it's a really cool little addition to our area. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the casino area. I can already tell you right now, it's probably going to take a little bit of time. We're probably going to be cutting a lot of stuff, and I want to get a really good result. I felt like our first casino build was all right, but I think we can do much better than that. If you don't remember that was like, what, 10 episodes ago now or something like that? So it was a while ago, but I want to do something nice for this area. So let's dive into that right now. Nero's Palace is definitely one of the primary buildings here, so let's go ahead and use this one. Now, I think what I'm actually going to do is plop this thing right here, front and center, so whenever you enter the strip at the very end is Nero's Palace here. And, of course, because Nero's Palace also comes with a shopping mall over here, I think we're going to have to put this one down probably behind the palace. Let's go ahead and see if we can make that work. I'm almost imagining having like a long strip with like a big park in the middle, maybe some pools and stuff. We've already got a pool over here, or what looks like a pool anyway, but I would imagine having like outdoor stuff and a whole bunch of stuff behind this. I'm probably going to go ahead and detail that later on. So let me in the meantime just like make a temporary road that comes out here so we can get a good marker for the mall. And I'm thinking actually we might have just drawn the perfect marker here. Let's try this and see how this works out. We plop the mall down. I believe. Oh, you know what? I think that the mall and the casino are, yeah, they're off by one grid. I don't know why whoever made this decided that was a good idea. But it seems, well, actually, hang on a minute. Is it really? No, I can't even really tell anymore. That means we need to do some improvising here. So if we can't have it directly behind it, I keep pulling that out. What if we did the mall like right here, and then we have our little like right angled area down this way? That seems like a better alternative to me. And if we did that, we could also plop something down like right next to it over here. Let's see what we have in our little cache of buildings over here. Of course, we've got, ooh, you know what? This might be perfect actually, the Centrium, because this one's kind of like made to have roads like directly surrounding it. So if we plop this one down here like that, and then we throw down some concrete tiles, all around here, and just places to walk, we can have a little like walkway come out this way right into the Imperial Mall. Over here we'll have it surrounded by that good stuff, and then if that's the case, then we can just throw down a street. Is this too close to that intersection? I don't think it is. I think because we're in a pretty dense area, that's going to be pretty reasonable anyway. So we'll have a street right next to the Centrium. And, I think in places like Las Vegas, the way they handle parking is they just have big parking garages, kind of like behind all the casinos. So I will try to implement that later on. But let's see if we can make a nice little road that kind of winds around here. I was kind of imagining something like that. And then we could throw in, wow, that's just like a helicopter going over my building. All right. Then we could throw in the mall area over here. Let me grab that real quick. All right. This is still like a little further out than I wanted it to be. Maybe we should just stick with this road being straight the way it is. So we'll just keep it the same area. I'm just going to pull it way out here for now. If that's the case, then this should work out. That does actually look pretty good, I think. If we want to have a walkway come in this way, we're going to have something like that, which I think actually does work out fairly well. Now, apparently we don't have power or electricity, or, yeah, we don't have power, but we also don't have garbage or police, which is a little bit odd because, oh, I haven't hit play yet. That's probably why. Well, I guess for this we'll worry about that later. We don't need it right now anyway. We'll get power once we get everything else built over here, but yeah, we'll do something back here. We'll have a little plaza area that kind of wraps around this whole area. This will probably be like one of the biggest plazas in the entire casino area, and it definitely causes us to space this out quite a bit. So, kind of a bold move. Hopefully this all plays out correctly like I want it to. But I think this area could look really nice if we have plenty of more open space, so it's not like way too dense and you can't even see anything. We'll have plenty of dense casino stuff over here anyway, so I think that's reasonable. Now let me pull out this area over here, this new street, and now we can toss in, and we don't need to hit play anymore. We're not getting any power anytime soon over there anyway. But now we could probably try and throw in like one or two more of the more iconic buildings. So I think this one will be one of those for sure. And ooh, this is gonna fit perfectly in this corner. That's actually awesome. It's like right at the end of this street here when you're coming down. So I do enjoy that. And then of course we'll probably have like a parking area or something, because we're definitely going crazy with the casinos over here on this side. But what else do we got over here? We got the Lucky Penny, which is here. We got, this is like what, the High Roller and the Lost Casino. Let's try placing the Lost Casino somewhere. This is definitely another one of those like iconic casinos, I think. And I'm going to give 3 on this side of Nero's Palace as well, because I want to have a little walkway down here. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. And then, let's see, if we do all of that, I think that our last casinos should definitely just be like nice and packed in over here in the middle of downtown. So we'll have the High Roller right there. That looks pretty solid. I wonder if we should try and make it face the other street instead. I think I like it better when it's facing the street. That's nice. So we'll keep that there. And then we've got the Lucky Penny, which is much smaller. And I think this one can go right next to the Rio Grande. Maybe like, ooh, let's give it like, why can't I put it here? Let me just move it way over here and then move it back in. I think giving it 2 would be good, just because we've got a little bit of space. I would assume there's like a little access road going back here. In fact, this is like a perfect place to just throw a nice quick little narrow road that goes to parking back here, because I feel like this is kind of where like the valet would go, because you want to walk in the back if you're parking your vehicle. And we'll also have a street that goes this way to kind of service this area. And then once we put that down, that should make a nice little place for, man, I gotta scroll through so much stuff to get down to these parking garages. There we go. This is a nice place for the parking garage then. I think somewhere back here is gonna look nice. Alright, so I kind of gave up on the idea of putting a resort down here. It just wasn't really working out too well. I'll probably go back to that later on off camera. I just couldn't really figure that out, and it's a really tight space to work with, so I might do something else instead. But what I did do is I zoned a little bit, and I also put down some parking garages. I did these off camera because I was really just not sure where they were going to go. They're really large, and I really want them in this area because I think it's pretty natural to have a couple different larger parking garages near all the casinos. It's pretty standard in like a casino city like this, but I don't think they always look super awesome, and I like to kind of hide them behind all the casinos as best as possible. So that's why these are where they are. And then I also did some zoning, and I don't mind these big like hotel looking buildings. Like, they look pretty nice and they kind of fit the whole theme of the casino city, but I don't really like the idea of not having a lot of control over what they look like. And that's just kind of what happens whenever you zone. So I think that I'm going to be doing things like this, like I did over here and back over here and even behind this area over here. But I'm not going to do it a whole bunch like right in the middle. Like this zone, like right here, this whole area is going to be pretty much entirely manufactured out of like unique buildings and some walkways and some details, some amenities. some plazas, maybe like some pools and things, and we'll just make this whole area feel like one big kind of cohesive outdoor experience. We'll have all these different like casinos and hotels and fun things to do all around this area, kind of like you would see in an actual casino city. Now, obviously, we're going to have to go ahead and get a cargo facility in back behind this mountain over here at some point, probably in the next few episodes, but I'm not going to do it right now, so these guys will have to just kind of hang out here and not have enough supplies, I guess. But anyway, in the meantime, what I did want to do right now is I want to tackle the arena. So I think the way I'm going to handle this, my original idea was just to like plop down one of these little tracks roads, but I think instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a standard road instead. I'm going to put the arena down right in the middle of that, and we'll probably have to shape all this stuff up a little bit. It's going to be kind of weird for a little while, but I'll do some fun outdoor stuff all around this arena, make it all look nice. But in front of the arena, what I'd like to do, and I'm actually going to pull this out one and then delete the area directly in front so we can get right in the center there. And you know what, let's go one over the center, because I'm pretty sure I can go like we'll do 2 over the center, and then we'll make a curve, a nice tight 2x2 curve like this. There we go. And then we can delete all of this again and then go 2 over the center again like that, and repeat the process. This will kind of make a little roundabout type thing. Now I don't know if I can bring a road in right here. Actually, not sure that I can. I'm pretty sure that it won't let me do that. Yeah, it looks like I am not able to do that. Okay. Well, with that in mind, now I wonder if I could do this then. Oh, I can. Interesting. All right. Well, now the question is, how are we going to do parking? And also, we're pretty close to this area, so we got to figure that out as well. Alright, so this is much better, actually. I think that trying to play around with angles with this avenue is kind of a mistake. I think this is much better just being a straight shot here. Then we can make a nice little roundabout with the tracks and have them go straight on into the very front of the stadium here. And then, of course, also have some little branching out points for some different parking lots. So let's go ahead and start doing that now. And I think I want to definitely have some parking up here by this area. And I think I'm going to probably even go ahead and like cut this river in a little bit and make it like form to where the parking lots are. Maybe have a little like walkway out here or something, who knows. But to do that, we're going to need to grab our parking lots. And I think I've actually got a larger parking lot that might fit well over here. Let me see. Yeah, this might work out all right. Maybe even if we kind of combined it with, well, first of all, the question is, do we want to use any of these parking garages over here? Because a lot of these stadiums don't actually seem to have parking garages. They're just like large open parking lots, just like taking up a ton of space. And I'm not really sure if I want to do that or not. Let's see here. Because if we did parking garages, we could try and like fit some up here in this corner and then have parking all down here. That would make more sense. I think we could probably just get away with standard parking though. Let's try that first. So I think closest to the stadium, we should probably use the smaller parking lot. So we got a bit of room over here for a little walkway, and then we'll use the larger one like directly next to it here. Like that. I actually like that quite a bit for this part of the parking, so I think I'm going to actually have it cut like this, and we'll move in and have a little bit more over here or over here for the big stadium. I was kind of imagining like a curved road that kind of just like contoured the parking lots like this, and then the same thing on this side. Yeah, let's try that. I think we can make that happen. So if we have it come out like here, hang on a minute. If we're going to do this, we definitely need to try and use mostly non-curved pieces and just kind of get the illusion that it's curved. And what I can do is I can use those concrete paintbrush squares, which I think are in here somewhere, like way in the back right here. I can use those in combination with the prop that I have for these little parking spots, and I can kind of create the illusion that this parking lot is contouring this road, even though it's not really actually doing that. And I think that that will make this look a lot more like a big sporting event parking area. So that's good. I'm glad we got that to work. Let's get way back here to our parking area again. Don't think any of these are going to fit in here really, because I don't actually want to put these here anyway. But this would be good, so I'll plop one of these down there. And then I think I'll just use... Yeah, I think for this area... Man, this is kind of tricky actually. I don't really know how we're going to close this off unless we just use those concrete slabs right to the end here. You know what, I think before we go on with this plan, I'm going to try that real quick just to make sure that's going to work. So give me a minute, I'm going to try that and we'll see if we can pull off that kind of like illusionary effect. Alright, so that actually worked better than I was expecting it to work. I mean, originally it was a little bit, like it felt a little bit sloppy to me because of the way that these squares work, which is really hard to work with right now because, of course, the prop and tree anarchy mod doesn't actually work with these because they're parks instead of props. So you have to be really careful when you're putting them down to like optimize the space and make them all fit properly, and you kind of end up with these little areas where you can't really put one down. But once I got some bushes and trees in there, I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. I actually love the way this turned out. And well, actually, speaking of this, I'm realizing now I kind of think that I'd like to put this one particular prop here, probably facing the opposite direction, to kind of match this one as well. But anyway, I really like the way this turned out, so I'm definitely pretty happy with the final result of this, and I think I'm going to try to continue doing this throughout the rest of this build. I'm actually just going to try and level this out so it's the same distance as the other one is, something like that. But anyway, yeah, I think this looks pretty good. So I'm going to try to use this kind of like throughout this area over here as well. I'm not going to try and push it too much with the crazy angles. I think this is about as steep as I want to get it, just because it's so much harder to work with those steep changes whenever using these like very basic square cement fillers. But I'm going to try and use this, try and kind of create more of a little parking lot area on this side as well, and I think that'll turn out pretty good. Now, before I even try to make this little curved section, let's go ahead and first do the more linear stuff, since that's much easier to work with. So, I'm gonna pull this down. I'm gonna use, let's see, let's figure out where that large parking lot fits in here, because that one's probably the hardest one to get working right. So, let's see here. I think I'm going to do what I did over here. I'm going to leave a little bit of space like this open on this side as well, so about to here. So I think if we're going to do that, we should actually use one of the smaller ones like immediately here, and then follow that with a larger one. It's kind of hard to visualize it from here. I don't know. I think I have a better idea though. If we do that, now we've got an idea. Now we can work with this. So then we'll bring this one down to this level right here. Oh, this is actually lower than it already is. Yeah, that's tricky. Alright, different plan. This needs to definitely start curving down first. So if it curves a little bit this way, maybe we just have it go straight and then curve so it looks a bit less noticeable. Or a little bit more noticeable as a curve and less like just the road's off or something. So it starts curving down, then it curves up. Like that. That's good. And then we'll have it go straight for like this long. And then we'll curve it down this way. Like that. There we go. Now we're talking. Then we connect it there. That's the end of the parking. Here's our parking lot right here. I'm going to fill these in. And then we can have a little gate on the outside of this area right here. And that should give us a pretty good sized parking lot. And I think also, you know, a bit more of like a unique looking parking lot. It's not just like a whole bunch of squares. And once it's all filled in, it'll look nicer, obviously. But I think from there we'll be pretty good on the parking, and then we can start working on the area around it. So let me go ahead and try to fill those in and see what that looks like when it's all done. Alright, so I think we finally have this stadium area kind of sorted out now. I tossed in some of the cement areas. You can see we've got a few of these little gaps here and there, just like I did over here. And I'll go in at a later date and I'll do some of this, you know, work with just like covering these areas up and all that stuff, making it look nice. So no worries about that. But I'd say we got a pretty good amount done now for this episode. I know it was a bit of a mishmash of things, you know, putting in all the casino stuff, putting in the stadium stuff, and I gotta say I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with this this current part of the city. On the one hand, I love building this. Like, this is my favorite stuff to build, is like these fun areas with like the casinos and everything and all that fun stuff. I absolutely love recording this stuff. But on the flip side, I also really don't like recording it because it seems like it's just like a really difficult thing to capture on camera. Like, I'm always, you know, going in and changing things and flipping things around, and it's really not entertaining to watch too much. So hopefully this wasn't too just like jumbled in a total mishmash of footage, but this is what we came up with, and I can promise you that it'll look much better in the coming episodes when we get some detail work done. We get going on the beach, we get some gorgeous, you know, beach area. We'll have some, I don't know, some little tents on the beach and some little seats and fire pits and all that fun stuff. And then we'll definitely sort out this area and make this all look pretty nice. I was actually really enjoying the way it was going so far, and I'm looking forward to having all the details, the foliage and the flowers and stuff kind of spread around this area. And then of course the beach down this way. And we also got to fill this area out with trees. We got to detail this thing. So it's definitely an ongoing process, and I would imagine it'll probably take another few episodes to finish all this stuff. And of course also, we haven't even gone back and finished this trailhead over here, so we'll get there at some point. I know it's been a little while, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and let me know what you think of the new Casino City so far. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.